No person is born great. Great people become great when others are sleeping. Yesterday, I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today, I am wise, so I am changing myself. Everything you do and have done has gotten you closer to who you really are and who you aspire to be. So in essence, even if you disagree with what you have done, it was never time wasted. You get in life what you have the courage to ask for. Love for something makes a man blind and deaf. The quarrel of lovers is the renewal of love. When an old man dies, a library is burned with him. Let your love be like the misty rain coming softly, but flooding the river. Start with you. Start where you are. Changing the world is an exciting idea. Changing yourself makes it possible. You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. Once you're angry, the harm is already done. A wise man learns by the mistakes of others, a fool by his own. Mistakes are a part of being human. Appreciate your mistakes for what they are, precious life lessons that can only be learned the hard way. When two elephants fight, it is the grass that gets hurt. Only the dead have seen the end of war. Today is life, the only life you are sure of. Make the most of today. Get interested in something. Shake yourself awake. Develop a hobby. Let the winds of enthusiasm sweep through you. Live today with gusto. It is better to be hated for what you are than to be loved for what you are not. Life is not a matter of holding good cards, but sometimes playing a poor hand well. Sometimes it's not enough to know what things mean. Sometimes you have to know what things don't mean. People are just about as happy as they make up their minds to be. Honesty is the first chapter in the book of wisdom. Wise men make more opportunities than they find. Life is inherently risky. There is only one big risk you should avoid at all costs, and that is the risk of doing nothing. All monkeys cannot hang from the same branch. Only a fool tests the depth of a river with no feet. Examine what is said, not who is speaking. Love, like rain, does not choose the grass on which it falls. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. The greatest thing in life is to keep your mind young. Life is a question, and how we live, it is our answer. Just as a snake sheds its skin, we must shed our past over and over again. Do not treat your loved one like a swinging door. You are fond of it, but you push it back and forth. Love doesn't listen to rumors. One who marries for love alone will have bad days, but good nights. Rain does not fall on one roof alone. We seldom realize, for example, that our most private thoughts and emotions are not actually our own, for we think in terms of languages and images which we did not invent, but which were given to us by our society. If a woman sleeps with two men, she will soon find herself caught in a web of tangled emotions and complicated situations. Don't try to make someone hate the person he loves, for he will go on loving, but he will hate you. If a woman doesn't love you, she calls you brother. God gave us the gift of life. It is up to us to give ourselves the gift of living well. Confiding a secret to an unworthy person is like carrying grain in a bag with a hole. Life is much more fun if you live it in the spirit of play and collaboration, working with instead of against others. Feeble efforts will not fulfill the self. The invariable mark of wisdom is to see the miraculous in the common. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. You can never plan the future by the past. Love is a painkiller. Things change, and friends leave. Life doesn't stop for anybody. This is my simple religion. No need for temples, no need for complicated philosophy. Your own mind, your own heart is the temple. Your philosophy is simple kindness. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future. Live life to the fullest and focus on the positive. Restless feet might walk you into a snake pit. People grow through experience if they meet life honestly and courageously. This is how character is built. No shortcuts exist to the top of a palm tree. A bird that flies off the earth and lands on an anthill is still on the ground. I am not someone who is ashamed of my past. I'm actually really proud. I know I made a lot of mistakes, but they, in turn, were my life lessons. Having a good discussion is like having riches. One falsehood spoils 1,000 truths. Being wrong is just as powerful as being right. Sometimes it's even more powerful. You can search throughout the entire universe for someone who is more deserving of your love and affection than you are yourself, and that person is not to be found anywhere. You, yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. You know who you love, but you can't know who loves you. The greatest day in your life and mine is when we take total responsibility for our attitudes. That's the day we truly grow up. An unexamined life is not worth living. In order to be happy oneself, it is necessary to make at least one other person happy. The earth is a beehive. We all enter by the same door. Be happy for this moment This moment is your life. To love someone who doesn't love you is like shaking a tree to make the dew drops fall. Seeing is different than being told. On every thorn, delightful wisdom grows. In every rill, a sweet instruction flows. It's not the load that weighs you down, it's how you carry it. The quality of a person's life is in direct proportion to their commitment to excellence, regardless of their chosen field of endeavor. You can't be brave if you've only had wonderful things happen to you. Knowledge is a garden. If it isn't cultivated, you can't harvest it. A roaring lion kills no game. If you want to know the end, look at the beginning. The eye never forgets what the heart has seen. If money were to be found up in the trees, most people would be married to monkeys. The only thing worse than making assumptions is to believe them. Accept responsibility for your life. Know that it is you who will get you where you want to go, no one else. Do not look where you feel. Look where you slipped. All life is an experiment. The more experiments you make, the better. Even as the archer loves the arrow that flies, so too he loves the bow that remains constant in his hands. One who loves the vase loves also what is inside. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count, it's the life in your years. Life is a succession of lessons which must be lived to be understood. In 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned about life. It goes on. Don't set sail on someone else's star. Life ought to be a struggle of desire toward adventures whose nobility will fertilize the soul. To try and to fail is not laziness. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Love is a despot who spares no one. There is more to life than increasing its speed. If the full moon loves you, why worry about the stars? Don't be so in love that you can't tell when it's raining. Truth should be in love and love in truth. A man is not called wise because he talks and talks again. But if he is peaceful, loving, and fearless, then he is in truth called wise. Tomorrow belongs to people who prepare for it today. The greatest mistake you can make in life is to be continually fearing you will make one. However far a stream flows, it doesn't forget its origin. If you think you're too small to make a difference, try spending the night with a mosquito. Life takes on meaning when you become motivated, set goals, and charge after them in an unstoppable manner. If there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do no harm. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. Don't think there are no crocodiles just because the water is calm. He who refuses to obey cannot command. Everyone in life is going to hurt you. You just have to figure out which people are worth the pain. You can't live your life for other people. You've got to do what's right for you, even if it hurts some people you love. Wood already touched by fire is not hard to set alight. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. He who digs a grave for his enemy might as well be digging one for himself. No medicine exists that can cure hatred. One who plants grapes by the roadside and one who marries a pretty woman share the same problem. To be successful, you must act big, think big, and talk big. No matter how much suffering you went through, you never wanted to let go of those memories. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. No matter how beautiful and well-crafted a coffin might look, it will not make anyone wish for death. If you marry a monkey for its wealth, the money goes and the monkey remains. Where there is love, there is no darkness. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. However long the night, the dawn will break. If you heal the leg of a person, do not be surprised if they use it to run away. Close some doors today, not because of pride, incapacity, or arrogance, but simply because they lead you nowhere. A loving heart is the beginning of all knowledge. Forgiveness is the final form of love. To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist, that is all. It is better to be loved than to be feared. Man is a mystery. It needs to be unraveled. And if you spend your whole life unraveling it, don't say that you've wasted time. I am studying that mystery because I want to be a human being. Love doesn't rely on physical features. If anyone makes you laugh, it is not always because they love you. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. Even the lion protects himself against flies. I've come to believe that all my past failure and frustration were actually laying the foundation for the understandings that have created the new level of living I now enjoy. The axe forgets, but the tree remembers. Once you carry your own water, you'll remember every drop. Be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop. Life is 10% what you make it, and 90% how you take it. A happy man marries the girl he loves. A happier man loves the girl he married. There are many ways of going forward, but only one way of standing still. Do not call a dog with a whip in your hand. No one ever finds life worth living. One has to make it worth living. Words only go so far. We must live our message. Our true wisdom is displayed through our actions. The seat of knowledge is in the head, of wisdom in the heart. People generally see what they look for and hear what they listen for. When one is in love, a cliff becomes a meadow. If love is a sickness, patience is the remedy.